Hello viewers, welcome back to Face to Face. This is the English spoken program, and for right now I'm William Grinaldi as your host. For this episode I'm gonna discuss about a little something interesting. Yeah, it's relating to passion. Yeah, so we live with passion, and without passion, like we are like not really into what we are doing, what we are interested in. Something related with passion that we're gonna discuss for today's episode. And for this episode, we're gonna discuss about passion, about teaching or sharing knowledge. Yeah, and for this episode, I'm gonna invite one of the lecturers in BINUSTV University. His name is Mr. Irfan Sofyan. So I'm gonna invite the guest. So welcome to the stage for face to face. Hello, let's have a seat. Yeah, so relating to the topic that we discussed about today's episode, it's relating to passion about teaching or sharing knowledge, and it's lecturing, and it's related to you. It has a correlation. Maybe first you want to introduce yourself.
Okay. My name is Muhammad Irfan Sofyan, and my bachelor degree is from Atmajaya in accounting, but my master degree is in communication. The correct is professional communication from Deakin University.
Oh, so your current profession is
one of my professions is lecturing in here at University. In Markom department.
In marketing communication, yes. So maybe you can tell me about some of the things that you are currently doing.
Aside from lecturing,
I
also become freelance consultant, both in communication and also in business, but most in communication. Communication is rather broad. It can be about advertising, it can be about PR, and it can be about corporate communication on other things.
Yeah, it encompasses lots of things related to communications. Yeah. So you can tell me about your current profession. How long have you been lecturing in BINUS University?
I've been lecturing at BINUS about 7 or 8 years since the Markom department first established.
Oh wow! So it's quite a long time.
Yeah, but at the time, I'm still at the time I was still freelance lecturing at Saturday, but right now I'm freelance lecturing at BINUS University from weekdays. But still freelance.
So it's more often that you are giving lectures in BINUS. Yeah. So let's talk about like your previous professions and like how you got relating to the background, academic background.
Actually, I don't have previous profession. I mean, when I first came here, since I have dual background, and then I have a dream about, I can be something great. I have a background in economy, and I also have a background in communication. So it must be good, right? I can be something great. But God shows me that probably lecturing is a good thing to do for me specifically, because by lecturing we also learn a lot, right? And also it must be that I can redeem myself by lecturing. So for example, when I have a signed contract for lecturing on freelance basis at BINUS, and then a month later also I got called from other office that you are asked for interview. Oh, I can't because I have been a lecturer at BINUS University. So and that happens several times. So it makes me think like, okay, this is
this is what you are passionate about. This is what you're interested about.
And it turns out that I like this lecturing. I mean, before that I never even dreamed of becoming lecturer. I mean, come on, can you imagine me as a lecturer?
Okay. So you can tell me about your academic background, like your first degrees background in economy. You can tell a little bit about that.
I have my bachelor degree in accounting, economy in specialization of accounting from Atmajaya. But it turns out that I realized that I'm not accounting person. You know what I mean? Accounting person is accounting person. Stiff by the book, and then
Like very analytical.
Always. No, analytical is very important, but I'm not the person who do things, you know, always by the book. And then if you see accounting person, they are like always look at the numbers and like
very logical.
Yeah, it's not okay. I'm not accounting person. And then I tried to apply for communication school, and then, you know, here we go.
Oh, okay. Like,
and I realized, and even though I maintain my ability in accounting, my ability in thinking analytically, that's the must, right?
Yeah.
It turns out that I'm a lot more about communication person, creative person, rather than accounting. Even though accounting itself is creative, but different kind of creativity.
Maybe you can tell us about how you like got interested in communication, or how you know, like applied for a communication degree.
I think at first, very first, I like watching television, and I like contributing my ideas in writing. In the year of 2000, I have I have a acknowledgement from Toyota Astra Foundation about my writing about education system in Indonesia. So it got me thinking that, okay, this could be my real thing, you know. Even though, yes, I have to admit that my ability in accounting and economy helps me a lot in my kind of work. Work as in lecturer or as in consultant.
Oh, okay, yeah. So like, you first got interested in like communication field by, you know, like some sort of like, you know, making articles or journalism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got the acknowledgement in the year of 2000 from Toyota Astra Foundation.
So you can tell me about your experience, you know, taking communication degree.
It's very hard because at first, because if you study in master degree, the lecturer lecture us in the assumption that you have understood that subject. It means that if they lecture about globalization, if they lecture you about news, advertising, etc., they have the assumption that the students have understood the subject. So they just sharpen things that needs to be sharpened. Yeah. Of course, me as a
don't have
bachelor degree holder in accounting, whoa, what is he talking about? So okay, so when my lecturer at master degree said, okay, you have assignment this and this and this, and other students can start right away, and then I'm reading books, and you know,
to stop conversation.
Yeah, I have to set back for a while, reading books, reading literature. Oh, this is advertising. Oh, this is public relations. Oh, this is what she means by, for example, global village, etc. Because I'm accounting. I was accounting, so
it's
I was
quite
so it's very hard at first.
But then, how you got through those obstacles?
With a lot of help, a lot of help from human and from God, I think. Yeah. So the thing is, what I'm saying is, if you have passion with something, not someone, with something. First, like Najwa Shihab, she graduated in law, but her passion is journalism. So apparently she applied to Metro TV and then become one of the famous Indonesian journalists, right? So as long as you are passionate enough about certain subject, there you go.
Yeah, you can make it far.
Yeah, you can survive.
Okay, so the conversation is getting interesting, but we have to take a break. So don't go anywhere, still on Face to Face. Hello viewers, welcome back to Face to Face. If you're just tuning in, I'm William Grinaldi. I'm inviting one of the lecturers in university, and we are currently discussing about passion of lecturing, because my main guest for today is a lecturer in Binus University, and we are currently discussing about like how you got your passion on lecturing and your background, academic background, and maybe you can tell me about how you develop your passion for lecturing.
I think before we go to lecturing, just first we do the sharing, right?
I mean, sharing knowledge.
I think sharing our experience, sharing our knowledge has also been my thing, because when I first graduate from Atmaja University in accounting, one of my first jobs is that I become in-company trainer. So people who train a company person for specific skills.
Like
in my case,
training.
English business skills. So the thing is, I think that's the first sign or first clue that okay, my passion is lecturing, teaching, motivating, and yelling. No.
It's like knowledge sharing.
How
giving,
to share with people. And I also always emphasize that just because I lecture, it doesn't mean I'm smarter than you, but I learn things earlier from you. That's the main key.
And also from the process of giving, giving something,
we also learn
gain
a lot,
something,
very much.
It's like a reciprocal things.
A lot of people can't imagine that. Okay, what could possibly students can teach for you? Oh, a lot of things. Once I become quite upset about certain class, and one of the students said that, sir, if you're upset about that class, don't yell, don't say bad things, just give them bad score so they won't graduate. That's it. You don't have to torture yourself. See, that students becomes my balance of life, if I may say.
Okay. You can tell me maybe about why do you want to be a lecturer specializing in the communication field.
Speaking about lecturer, first because I got the job, and as the time goes by, I like it.
It's a process.
It's a process, and like I said before, I never even dreamed of becoming a lecturer or teacher. I mean,
but maybe you can tell me about what are the subjects that you lecture about.
First, when I lecture at BINUS, I lecture advertising lesson, and then I'm more often lecture about public speaking on the odd semester, and in the even semester I lecture IMC, Integrated Marketing Communication. That's two of my most often subject.
Maybe you can tell me about some of the subjects.
I think public speaking is a very generic for communication students, because for communication students and then communication person, whatever you do, it involves speaking public. You have to speak in front of investors, you have to speak in front of journalists in the press conference, for example. You have to speak in front of police officers if there is a legal aspect. So you have to be able to speak in front of a lot of people.
Like it's a basic.
It's a very basic skills. Or also I lecture once or twice in mass communication. Not only do you have to be good in public speaking in front of public, but the thing is you will have to understand the nature of each media. For example, of course, right now it's integrated media, right? Here we have TV combined with internet, combined with radio, etc. But the thing is, we have to first understand very well what the plus and minus about radio, what plus and minus about television, etc., etc., etc. So that's also the basic skills.
So it's also the basic skills. Like so you learn like you're giving lectures like from like both sides, like from mass communication, also in public relations, like. So you mentioned other subjects that you.
My most subject is that public speaking and integrated marketing communication, and several times I also lecture in mass communication, and I also lecture because of my economic background. I also lecture once entrepreneurship at BINUSTV too. So that's why.
Maybe you could tell me about how you give lectures about entrepreneurship relating to communication field.
Actually, I lecture about that to IT students.
Oh, so it's a different.
I think it's a, I don't know. I think it's a policy from BINUS that you, for example, like me from Markom, I cannot lecture entrepreneurship to my own students. It has to be to different students. So it's for IT. But I think the entrepreneurship itself is very needed right now to all majors. Because, I mean, who knows? Because after you graduate, you want to build your own business. Who knows, right?
Yeah, it's also very fundamental to learn about that.
Right now, it's very fundamental.
Aside from giving lectures relating to public relations or mass communications, like do you happen to master another subject or another?
Basically, communication covers the whole thing. Yeah, I mean, right now, even journalism like this or cinema. It also relates to communication. So communication itself has a very broad thing, broad coverage. And since I like watching movies and cinemas, I also, in many occasions, share materials using the examples of movies, using the examples of TV program, etc., etc. So,
like how do you incorporate, your interest in watching movies into relating to giving lectures?
For example, like in mass communication, right? I said that the advantage of television is that television has both audio and visual, and visual can give you effect even maybe higher than just visual. Just sound, right? So I use TV program to show that this is the program about poverty, and if it's only words, the effect is not going to be that high. But if we added a picture, like the picture of poor kids, poor families, it will give much higher impact. Like it's worth 1,000 words. Exactly. So if I give 2 pictures, it will worth 2,000 words.
So like imagine if if showing visuals, like moving visuals, that will give more effect.
And the fact shows, the research in many institutions said that visuals can give a lot more impact rather than words, because people these days like watching more rather than reading. So that's sad thing actually.
Like maybe you can tell me about, based on your opinion, is it necessary to to people, to everyone, to know like what their passion is?
Yeah, of course. I mean, if you look, let's not be hypocrite. Doing job is hard, but if you like that job, that hardness, that feeling hardness will become less. For example, I'm tired of this, I'm tired of my job, but at least you like your job. I mean, imagine if you don't like your job. it's twice as the burden, right? So the thing is, you have passion in acting, singing, or becoming a news person, etc. You are tired. Sir, I'm tired. And then, I mean, I lecture several students who are also entertainer, and they are also very, very tired. I mean, doing stripping of electronic cinema, doing stripping, and then go back to BINUS University. Can you imagine? But at least they like what they are doing. Imagine if you don't like what you're doing. Whoa.
So it's like, you know, notice and develop your passion. It's kind of like a drive.
Drive too.
Yeah.
And it's not just look, all aspects of life are creative, right? If you are engineer, you have to be creative in building bridge or whatever. If your passion is math, if your passion is science, go for it. Yeah, so like passion can go to anywhere as long as it's legal, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But like I mean, based on your experience, like how people can like notice their passion in several ways.
How many days do we have? it's not 2 days. Okay. It's for some people it's very easy. For other people it's very difficult. For example, like Najwa Shihab, I mean, she graduated from law major, and then she becomes passionate in journalism. So there are people who are fortunate enough to know their passion since very early, and then can go to that passion and have people or other thing that facilitate them. I like singing since the child, so she can join. This is the story of my students. She has the patience of singing since 4 years old, and everyone knows that. So she joined singing competition on, and achieve good performance, good awards, etc. And then when she went to Jakarta, she already know that okay, my passion is singing, and then later on acting.
Oh yeah, so it's kind of like based on experience, based on.
And she, like other people, are lucky enough to know her passion or his passion from the very beginning.
Oh yeah.
But there are people who don't.
Like they have to get through, self journey.
When he or she is 30, oh, I know my passion is 30s.
Okay, this discussion is getting more interesting. Like if you want to know more about finding your passion, then you have to stay tuned right after the break. Still on Face to Face. Viewers, welcome back to Face to Face, and I'm William Grinaldi. If you're just tuning in, we're discussing about passion. So we have right now one of the lecturers in BINUS University, Mr. Irfan Sofyan, and we're gonna continue about discussing about passion and finding your passion. And relating to your background and personal experience also, maybe you can try to give some examples about how to find your passion.
I think finding your passion, sometimes it can be very easy, but it can be as hard as finding your soulmate. Because when someone is 30 years old, okay, I mean, but 30 is rather late, right? For just finding, not for working, not finding. But the thing is, it's quite lucky if you know your passion since very little, and then you know how to achieve that. And a lot of people, especially family, parents, sisters or brothers, support you to achieve that. So I think that's also important. So everyone knows that you like something, and everyone support you to do that thing.
Yeah, a lot of like examples of several successful people maybe finding their passion as early as possible.
Like if we go very back, very back, like Thomas Alva Edison, for example. I mean, he got expelled from elementary school because the teacher at the time thought that he didn't pay attention. It turns out that he's a little bit deaf, so it's not that he didn't pay attention, but he cannot hear. he cannot hear very well. He couldn't hear very well, so he got expelled, and then he just stayed home. And Thomas Alva Edison's mother gave him a lot of experiment material, a lot of books, and that's when he found his passion, become innovator. And that's one of the story, and a lot of things like Napoleon Bonaparte. That's a very bad example actually, because he's a conqueror. So the thing is, in a lot of cases, he or she found his or her passion at the very early at the beginning. So that's why, you know, a lot of people said, for example, like Hollywood actors, George Clooney and so on and so on. So sometimes they drop out from college, or they don't even go. They didn't even go to university. So they want to pursue entertainment career, and the same thing applies to making business, etc., etc. So,
like, how important, like if you mentioned before, like how important is family or parenting role in terms of finding your passion?
Parents and family, I combine them, Parents and family, they are there when you need them, and they support you when you need them, and they are even there even when you don't need them. Even when you don't need them. So that's, I think, family and parents as a general are a very important part of our finding passion.
So, like maybe in some cases, like people find their passion based on like coincidence, like you get approached by, you know, like maybe talent, like you explore by talent agent or something.
That's in entertainment world, that happens a lot. But if he or she, after being approached to talent scout, if he or she got approached, but it turns out that he or she doesn't have passion in singing or acting, he or she will not go anywhere too. He will not go anywhere either.
So it's kind of like
it has to be in your own. Talent scout, lecturer, they are just certain ways from God to give you to give you a nudge, but it has to come from you.
Okay, yeah. So back again, like when we discuss about finding your passion, maybe you can tell me about is there anything or anyone who gives you some like specific motivations on how you got the profession right now?
I got help with a lot of people, my family, and a person I cannot mention here. And to make a confession that I'm still sad because I feel like I cannot give them the same amount of contribution that they gave me. You know, my parents, my sister, and a certain person. So that's still feels sad that I cannot pay them back for their contribution.
So is it like it's important like to have specific, or maybe maybe specific like idols or
because when you look up, for example, my passion is, for example, playing basketball, and my role model is Michael Jordan or anywhere. Kobe Bryant or something, or someone else. That's important because you can learn from them, learn the good things, not the bad things. And if we learn from our idol, it's important that we take the good things, and if he or she, our idol, has a negative effect, just try to throw it away.
So besides from having support from family and also
family, friends, and family and friends who guard you. If this is specifically for entertainment people, the seduction in that area is very hard. So if you are surrounded if you are surrounded by good family, good parents, and good friends, you are protected by them, gitu loh.
Like
from negative effect of life. Yeah, I mean,
also,
we both know what it is.
And also, like, it's also maybe important, like, for someone who find their own passion, like, it has to come from inside.
From yourself. Talent scout, lecturer, teacher, they are just God's way, God's intermediary subject to give you idea, to give you a nudge, to give you a push, but it has to come from you.
Yeah. So now back again to your experience, like maybe you can share about some, like some of hard challenges that you face when you, ever since you became a lecturer.
I think sharing, especially lecturing, is a little bit hard because there is no certain guiding books about that. For example, if you face a class that can be treated as an adult, they can learn that, of course. Okay, so your part there is only about becoming facilitator. Okay, what do you want to learn? This, sir, and this, and this. Okay, just read this, and then next week we will
can self-motivate.
We will be discussing that, and then you can learn a lot from our discussion. Okay, but there are classes who can only be treated as a child. So that's
like hard.
So there is no certain books about how you teach something, because sometimes you teach by giving examples, sometimes you teach only by giving words, and there are cases what makes you to teach by sometimes giving punishment. Okay, since you are behaving naughty, if you know what I mean, please make 3 essays, give it to me next week, for example. Just example. So that's by punishing, right? So that depends. Very different ways. Even for example, like there are 2 smart students. For example, like Maria Yahya, who's not here. The way I lecture her and the way I lecture other smart students can be different because they are different people.
Give different treatment.
Different treatment for different people. For different students. Different people.
Like, is it hard to give, does the treatment like specifically fits, or you have like some kind of certain doubts?
Sometimes it's a trial and error. Okay, this class seems to be diligent, etc., etc. Okay, maybe I will treat them as a diligent adult who only give little guidance. But this class is the other way around. Okay, I should give them more punishing, like this, not physical punishment, academic punishment. So it's sometimes it's hard, but that's our challenge, to face which one is which.
So it's also like a learning process, like a self-learning process also.
So by teaching, by lecturing, I can learn 2,000 things. That's just one thing. So if you want to know all the things I lecture, so the things I study from lecturing, we will need 2 days.
But that science is like learn about patience.
Also.
Patience.
Bingo, exactly. You got that right, baby.
Like maybe dealing with like various types of students. Do you have any like unique experience that you want to share?
I don't know if I can mention that in the camera. So
So like maybe like certain, like you said before, like maybe just giving you different.
Because I'm the youngest child, and my oldest nephew has been graduated, so in the 8th semester. So students from 8th semester below, I perceive them as my nephews. That's why Maria knows about this. So that's why I said, okay, since I'm lecturing in order not only to get money but also to get reward from God, if you have questions, just ask. If I can lecture you more than it has to be, I get reward from God, right? Hopefully. And then one of the students asked that, sir, can I ask you something? Okay, you know, the uncle to niece, yeah. Okay, can I ask you something? I don't know, maybe this word will be edited, but I will tell you anyway. Sir, what is the effect of taste in condoms?
So like it's like a personal question.
Yeah,
like
I mean,
like no.
what does taste in condom has anything to do with controlling birth? That's by far the hardest question. Not because I cannot explain, or not because I don't know the answer, but how to explain that into her. And a lot of students left like there's no tomorrow.
So it's kind of like
because I said since I have dual background, you can ask about anything. And
so also
that's
about,
when God tests me. Okay, she asked you about this. How do you explain that?
So deals with like personal perspective,
exactly.
Like how you deal with,
how do you know,
students like that.
And then I said, you can ask me about anything except two things: soulmate and destiny.
Okay.
Because
unexplainable.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the discussion is getting more interesting, but you have to stay tuned because we're gonna have to take a little break. Stay tuned. Stay on Face to Face. Hello viewers, welcome back to this talk show Face to Face, the English spoken program, and I'm William Grinaldi. We're currently discussing about finding a passion and finding what you like and what you love. And here we have one of the lecturers in BINUS University, Mr. Irfan Sofyan. We're currently discussing about like finding your passion and you share some experience on being a lecturer and
unique ones.
And maybe you can tell me about you're currently giving lectures to the third semester beginning the beginners,
the third and fourth semester.
Semesters, is there any specific reasons why you choose?
Okay.
Actually,
I only lecture what BINUS government, what BINUS University is giving me. So, for example, if
based on request,
Markom, like singing, Markom department said that, Fan, this semester you will lecture the third semester and the fourth semester, and then that's what I will do. So, I don't know. Maybe I still have a child thing in my mind. So the thing is, maybe I still behave like children. So that's why the officials at Markom department considers that I am suitable for lecturing the third and fourth semester. So preparing them for the next.
Oh yeah. So. So in previous discussions, you share your experience as a lecturer. Maybe you can give specific reasons why you choose to become a lecturer rather than a teacher.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I don't know if I can teach well for little children. For example, elementary school, middle school, and senior high school. So I will have to admit that maybe I'm not good at teaching them. So that's why I choose to be lecturer. After they have been prepped and prepared, their first 18 years of life, they have been prepped and prepared for by their teachers, and then we come in. And then we come in.
So it's maybe it's harder to giving concepts.
I think it's harder. That's why Indonesian word for teacher is guru, right?
Yeah.
Guru means in Indonesian language, not in Indian language. Yeah. It's like to be followed and to be exampled. That's a little bit hard. I'm not saying I'm a bad example, but it's harder to teach and implement fundamental ideas, fundamental behavior, rather than to teach them necessary skills someday. Because in the first 18 years of our life, we have to be prepped and prepared for later. We have to be strong, we have to be able to manage our time, we have to be disciplined, we have to be struggle, we have to be blah blah blah, and then we go to university. So that's when we come in. So I think our job is easier than teacher. That's my personal opinion, yeah. Than teacher, because teacher has to implant and doctrine in the good way,
like
basic skills, being
principles of life,
being struggle in mental, being disciplined, being or like reading, like calculating, have a good analytical skill, etc. So they have to prep and prepare the fundamental of those.
Oh yes. You choose to become a lecturer.
Yeah, become a lecturer. So you're doing the difficult job. I'm doing the.
And like when it comes to giving lectures, you're lecturing. Have you find sometimes you get bored with lecturing?
Not the lecturing itself, but sometimes, if I may say, not maybe tired probably. Maybe tired by the whole process, but not the lecturing itself, because I don't know about you, but about me, every time I see kids, you're not kids anymore, yeah? Sorry.
Students.
Every time I see students, I feel your behavior is quite funny. So actually, you are like a singer to fans. So you are the one who give me boost in my mental when I'm down, etc., etc. Yes, of course, there are once or twice or 3 times that I have to punish class. I have to sometimes a little bit yell because they are very loud. So, but that those things is are very small compared to my enjoyment to meet students. That's, because they are my things of that make me happy, give inspiration, because your behavior is very funny actually. Sorry.
So yeah, in terms of giving lectures, maybe you can give some sort of motivations that you want to share with viewers about finding their passion.
Oh yeah. I think it's very important if you find your passion as early as possible. Okay, maybe it doesn't have to be when you are 4 years old, no. But finding your passion, what you want to do, since in the very early beginning. Because if you know what your passion from the early stage of life, you can reach them, you can ask other people for assistance, you can ask questions about that aspect from the very early too. So so in that case, you don't waste your time, because we are not immortal. We have
time is limited.
Time is limited for human. We are not angels. We are not vampire. If we're talking about that.
Yeah. So, but it has to base
from you.
Also from
maybe you got inspiration. Maybe you got nudged up. Maybe you got a little bit push. Maybe you got ideas from others, from talent scout, teachers, lecturers. But eventually, it comes from you. Do you like it or not?
And you can find your passion by taking tests or
it's in modern world there is specific tests from psychology department, but the thing is,
but still it has
you have to know. I like singing and I'm good at it, for example, so you can pursue that, etc., etc. Good in design, in clothing, in being engineer, being science person, being a doctor, it's
okay.
Yeah, it's okay. But
maybe
but you have to know from the beginning.
But peer pressure or some examples.
You have to learn business so you can take over friends, my business later. Say the father, right? So,
yeah, like my other friends have, specific measures to take.
And then
they can just follow.
That's my sad thing. That's my sad. That's my sadness, because it means that they are wasting their time. Not only their time, their parents' money. They're by just following other people, not finding your own passion. It means that you are wasting your time. You are wasting your parents' money. You are wasting resources. So
Okay, so that's the ways. One of the several ways that you can find your passion. So we have to say thank you first to the audience and who have just watched the show, and also thanks to Mr. Irfan,
thank you
who just
for having me.
share his own personal experience on finding his passions. And meanwhile, I'm William Grinaldi as your host. We will see you again in another episode of Face to Face. So don't you have to watch www.BINUSTV.